Welcome back. All right, why is picking out the right color of paint for your home so hard? It actually doesn't have to be so hard if you have the help of the Paint Diva. Cindy Gelormini is here now to talk us through how we can make this a little easier. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. I'm so happy to be here. And as you can see, we got the color memo today.
Yes, we did. Not even talking to each other.
No, and I was psychic. I was reading it.
Yes, exactly. To carry on from our last segment. How did you become the Paint Diva? That's quite a title.
So it's kind of a funny story. I used to paint murals and faux finishes. If you remember the 90s, I don't know if you're old enough to remember all the sponging and glazing and
or whatever, feather painting. Yes.
Sponging, glazing, stenciling, all of that. And I used to do that. And then in 2005, the faux finishes were going out of style, and I was up on a ladder 20 feet in the air. I almost fell off. I said, that's it, I'm done. So I reinvented myself. I went to work at a paint store as their in-store interior designer.
Okay.
Much easier, no more ladders.
Right.
And I went to work there helping people choose their paint colors. And when I was there, people used to tell me stories about someone else that had a paint store in a nearby town. And she was so mean, she used to throw people out of the store and say, don't come back until you know what you want. And they called her the paint Nazi. So if you've ever seen the Seinfeld episode of the soup Nazi, you would get the joke, right? She was the paint Nazi. So after about 6 months, somebody walked in the store one day and she said, oh, so you're the Paint Diva. I was like, oh. Are you confusing me with somebody else? She says, no, she's the mean one. You're the nice one. I was like, oh, okay.
All right, this is a compliment.
Yes, as like she said, it means you know your stuff. It's a compliment. So I decided, you know what? I kind of like that. I'm going to keep it. And then, you know, I worked there for 11 years, and I've been out for 9 years. So I've been doing this for 20 years. So it actually turned out to be good marketing because I have this long Italian last name that nobody can pronounce it, they can't remember, but they remember the Paint Diva. So when they need help, it's like, let me find that Paint Diva.
Well, and clearly you know what you're doing, too, because your suggestions have been working.
Yes.
How is it, or why is it so hard for all of us to decide what color to paint a room? It sounds quite easy, but it's not.
It is, and it's not, and I get a lot of panicky phone calls at the last minute. The painter's coming tomorrow, and I don't know what color. I didn't know it was going to be this hard. And the reason it's hard is because, A, you only paint maybe 8 to 10 years or 20 years for some people. And I always tell my clients, I do this all day, every day. You don't. And they're afraid of making a mistake. You ever choose a bad paint color, and then you're afraid to ever do it again.
Yes, our bedroom right now is quite not great.
And then, and people have trouble visualizing how a room is gonna look.
You think it's gonna, like on the little swab, look one way, and it doesn't.
And I've had people choose wrong colors, and then they call me to come and fix it. And I learned a lot, working in the paint store and working for clients. I've learned how to fix all the mistakes, and I learned how, like one time a woman came in, she said, I was going for a soft buttery yellow, but it looks like somebody threw up lemons all over my wall. What's the problem, right? So I learned how to tone everything down and how to make, you know, what grays are going to actually look purple or green. And
we did the gray that looks purple. You're right.
And there you go.
You have this book out. It's new now. You're trying to help us. Does it walk you through the best methods?
It does. In the beginning, I start by helping people see undertones, because that's the one thing people really don't get. And I show like 3 different beiges, and one is a little yellow, one's a little green, one's a little pink, and I'll tell them this is what you need to see. And the important thing is to match your stuff in your room. So let's say you have a gray couch that's a cool gray. It's a little on the, has a slight purple undertone. And then you ask your friends, what color should I paint my room? And they'll say, oh, paint it Revere Pewter. It's the perfect color. It works in every room in my house. And then you put it up, and it looks muddy, and it looks green. So now your walls look green, your couch looks purple, and you hate them both, and you can't figure out why. Because you have to look at the undertones, and you have to, I tell people to take the chips and literally lay them on the couch and find what matches the closest. So we go room by room in the book, room by room, and what to look at.
The first step of many. We got to get your book to get some help. You can also follow Cindy on social media. Remember, it's just the Paint Diva, or you can also check out her book. Here's the full title: The Paint Diva Method, a practical guide to choosing paint colors for every room in your home so you don't screw it up. Thank you so much for being here, for all your advice today.